So my name is Chris Bridgers. I am the Assistant Director for Student Engagement in the Office of Student and Family Engagement at the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga, and I am here to do an interview for Chaotic Careers. It all started with my grad school experience, really, through my internships and practicums, and really had the chance to work with housing and different counseling centers, and really working with college students there. After that opportunity, I moved to Radford, Virginia, and went to Radford University to be a resident director, and had an amazing time and worked with phenomenal students and through housing, and really enjoyed that. And then now I'm here at UTC, and I have the opportunity to work through student engagement, and so really just engaging students through programming and activities, and just getting to know students one-on-one. It's been a very interesting journey, but at the same time a lot of fun, a lot of new experiences, and coming in contact with a lot of great people. My favorite TV show right now is Ginny and Georgia, which it's new to me, but it came out I think around like 2021 or 2020, something around that time. Phenomenal Netflix show, very messy but still good. The storyline is great, and it reminds me of a series called Little Fires Everywhere with Kerry Washington. But my favorite TV show of all time, or TV shows, is Family Matters and Martin. Both are just classics, easily relatable, and reminds me a lot of either my family or just like my friend groups, and I stay laughing with those. And so just really good classic shows that talk about either like the Black family or just the Black experience in general. And so so those are my top two. My favorite event. That's hard. Oh, I think my favorite, I'm choosing between either Fall Fest, Spring Fling, or actually I'll go with Fall Fest. So I think it has a personal meaning to me, but also just a really good experience, as 2021 was the first time that we did it, but it's just a really big event on Chamberlain Field where we get to celebrate the end of the semester. And so we had inflatables, food, a DJ, so just a really good time for students to come out and connect with each other and just celebrate the end of the semester. And there's a personal side of it because that was one of the first large events that I had the chance to plan with our student staff as well as our office staff. We have a beautiful team, and it was just really great to be able to see something like that through. And so I think it's just really cool to create opportunities for students to connect on campus, whether you have all of the connections in the world as a student, or if you just have one friend on campus or none. Just seeing students from all backgrounds and just all walks of life just coming together and being able to connect and have fun over some good food, fun. So I think those are that one, and also Spring Fling. Those are my favorite events that we've done so far. Whew, that's a good question. A hobby of mine, I play instruments. That's a hobby of mine. So I started playing the drums when I was a little kid. At my church, I used to be able to sit in our drummer's lap. His name was Edward, one of the best humans. I used to sit in his lap as a kid at church, and I would be able to just like try to play. He would let me hold the sticks when I was a kid, and so eventually, like, I was big enough to play by myself, and so I started playing for my church. It's something I still do now. I play at a church out here, but also I use it as a time to just relax, disconnect. My faith is really important to me, and so I'm just being able to connect with God in that way and really just disconnect and be at peace during that time. I don't think a lot of students know that. Some may. That's an interesting fact about me. I have a dog. And her name's Queen, and that's my homie. That's my ride or die. She's a Shar-Pei pit. So some people do know about Queen, but 2020, I think, was very difficult for a lot of people, especially with the pandemic. And I was living in Virginia, and it was a very difficult time for me. That was also the start of the pandemic, but also the height of police brutality and also the Black community. And so living in a small town in Virginia, it was very much like, whoa. And being a Black male in that space was sometimes very uncomfortable. And so, yes, I wanted to be safe because of the pandemic, but spent a lot of time inside. I was looking for a dog, so I've always wanted a dog, and I went to a local shelter that was out there, and I found Queen. And all throughout that time, that was who I was kicking it with, and just being able to have a dog to be able to walk outside or to be able to play with or run around with. It was cool to have that. And just through a lot of transitions of my life, Queen has been present. So it feels weird to talk about a dog in this way, but the scariest decision. The hands down moving here and taking the job here. I'm very close with my family, and before I lived here, I lived in Radford, Virginia, and Radford is only 4.5 hours from North Carolina, or at least the part of North Carolina that my family lives in. So it was nothing to take a trip there. Moving out here, I'm now 7.5, 8 hours from home, and so when I was making the decision about the job search, I was like, man, I really want to be closer to home, but also I rock with the team here. Really cool opportunity. I've always wanted to live in Tennessee. Why not? Let's do it. I remember, and many people don't know this, but I was actually going to not take the position, or not even take the position. I was going to ask to no longer be considered for the job. And Laura and I had a really good talk, and she was like, think about it. Even though it was the scariest decision, it was one of my best decisions, and I don't regret it. And if anybody out there, if y'all are thinking about any type of scary decision, like, you can always take it and see what happens. It's either gonna go well or it's not gonna go well, but we always learn something from our decisions that we make. So yeah, stepping out on faith is always good, and taking that risk is always important. So yeah. So this is hands down the easiest. It is Welcome Week, and we're doing Oak Street Roast. Mind you, this is like my second week on the job. The whole spread is outside. We got the food, the inflatables. DJ is under the pavilion. The pandemic, like, students are like back and they are ready to have a good time. Whole thing is going on, having a lot of fun, and then all of a sudden, we see that the weather is about to go downhill, and then it really starts coming down. And so these students have now, some have left, but some have migrated to the pavilion area, and they're surrounded by the DJ living their best life, just dancing. And it's raining, and then Laura and I are walking down the sidewalk, and she's like, I think I might need, we should probably call this. So we are breaking everything down. The event is over. And when I tell you the sky is opening, it's just pouring down rain. And we all are soaked and drenched and sweaty. And after we finally finished everything, we took a photo standing in front of our office desk, just drenched, just clothes sticking to each other, and just, I had a pair of white Vans that I loved, and I wore those thinking I was fresh, and just, shoes were destroyed, and so I had to throw them away afterwards, but it was worth it. It was a great time. So that's probably my memory. That's it as well. It's a few things. I'm trying to decide. I wrote down, get connected to people. I feel like your community matters. We all need friends. We all need family, and we also need mentors and mentees. And so you want people who will will hold you accountable and challenge you to do good things and be the best version of yourself. So get connected to people, that matters. And then I wrote down, shoot your shot. And I feel like sometimes we can become so fearful about just either putting ourselves out there or doing what may scare us. We can get to the point where we end up not even doing anything. How much do we miss out on life because we don't do certain things, or we choose to just be, and really just shoot your shot and see what happens. And so that can be relationship, or that can be professional, like put that application out there, or put that extra hour of studying in there, and you don't know what could happen with that. And so that's there. And then just keep working on yourself. I feel like we can always get better. I'm not saying don't be displeased or not content with who you are, but just always look for ways to grow and be better, and to celebrate that, and don't be afraid to challenge yourself to be better, to do better, and to know better. So get connected to people, shoot your shot, and just keep working on yourself, and just be a good human and love on people. So yeah, that's what I got, and keep pushing and do your thing. So that's what I got.
Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in to this month's episode of the Chaotic Career Series and taking the time to listen to our special guest, Chris Bridger's life story and experience. Chris was honestly so funny and kind and wonderful to speak with, and hearing his experience about taking a leap of faith and moving to a city he had little to no connections with was honestly incredibly motivating, and shows that sometimes taking a risk can pay off in the most unexpected of ways. And while you're calculating and taking your own leaps, please feel free to come see us down at the Center for Career and Leadership Development. Our goal as a center is to be there for you and help you take those next steps in your journey. We are always there to lend a hand and support you in all the adventures you are going to embark on. Now, with all that being said and out of the way, until next time, stay chaotic, Mox.
So what's good is that he just answered the question about his pet.
Yeah.
So now
That's the question.
So now we can do the question about what an interesting or funny fact about.
Oh, you said that? I thought that was my interesting fact. So India said that my response to the interest, she said that's not interesting at all, and that's not funny. I thought it was good.
So, what is the scariest decision you've had to make on your career journey thus far, and what did it teach you? This is something I picked out while I was just standing here. Is that a Hufflepuff, like Matt?
Hufflepuff
Matt? Is it?
No. This is definitely my fraternity.
So sorry.
Whoa.